this might just be literally the craziest thing I've ever done.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Kennedy and I'm the owner of Sinclair Vintage. And in this video we are hopping around to like a bunch of different estate sales. This is your warning right now. The filming is a bit chaotic, and that's simply because I didn't plan on going to the first estate sale. It was a very last minute decision, and I was just gonna go to see what was up because I went at like the last hour of the sale, and then I ended up finding some decent stuff. So then I just started recording, and then I went to the next one. I did okay recording there, and then I don't know, it was just literally all over the place, so beware. I also did not feel good through like half of this video, but the game plan was to find some stuff for my vintage markets that I do. I have a couple big ones coming up, and for my bigger booths that are like 10 by 20, 12 by 25, like I want to have like a full table with just jewelry and like ashtrays and lighters and keychains and paperweights, all that kind of fun knick-knacky stuff. I feel like that's where a lot of people right now are getting the extra little income in. And when I recently switched to Sinclair Vintage this year, but beforehand, for 6 years, I was Retro Rags. And with that, I used to do like a lot of $5 bins, and having those little $5 items were really nice to kind of tack on and make extra money. I probably made an extra $200 or so every market just by having that bin. But now that I'm looking for a more elevated presence, I don't want to have like a $5 bin anymore. So I'm trying to figure out other ways to kind of bring in that extra like little money. So I'm thinking like silk scarves and like the other examples that I gave earlier. So I'm searching for those little things, and then I obviously need some kind of tablescape and presentation there. So, you know, tablecloths and glass containers to hold, you know, the jewelry and things like that. So that's basically what the entire goal was for this video, and I absolutely found it. I'm so proud of myself and what we could find simply at estate sales. A couple of these we went on the last day, so everything was like 50% off. I love a good deal. Other ones we went on the first day, and it was just mad chaotic. So I'm gonna let you enjoy this video. I just wanted to say hey, show face, tell you what the goals were, and now I'll let you get into the video. So this is the first estate sale. As you can see, it's giving very bare bones, and that's because I came within like the last 45 minutes of the estate sale. People were really just there to haul out like the furniture and things at the very end. But it was a 50% off day, and sometimes if you go at the very end, they'll give you even bigger discounts because they are literally just trying to clear out the house. But I did find a lot of really good pieces, like these silver platters and these doilies. This like industrial steamer, I'm calling it industrial simply because it's a shark and not some like cheap Amazon thing. Oh my god, these stems on these glasses. These are some of the sexiest glasses, and they were literally in like dead stock condition. Aside from one box, like one box was completely missing a glass, and that really upset me and my homegirls. So I only got two, but listen, I got 2 sets of glasses for $8. Like, I can't be that mad. I know you guys saw that evening bag. It is now my life's mission to carry evening bags in my store because I made a little TikTok video. I think I also posted it on YouTube Shorts about how Birkins and like chunky leather carry-all bags don't belong at dinner and nice events. And it made the girls mad. People were like, I can do what I want, and you can, but fashion etiquette is a thing for a reason, and everything has a time and place. So it's now my life mission to carry evening bags so that we can all look proper when we go to events. Oh my god. You guys, I just went to this estate sale an hour before close. I saw it this morning, so I was like, oh, like let me see what's going on for the end of the week, and this one happened to be going on today, like ending today. And mind you, I was on estatesales.net at like 10:30. The sale ended at 1, and I was like, oh gosh, okay, well let me look at it. I looked at it, looked pretty decent, right? And I was like, surely it's like 50 to 75% off today. Like, it's the last day. It started yesterday. Those midweek sales will get you. Okay, they're sneaky. Anyway, I was like, well, let me pull my life together. I got out of bed, I showered, brushed my teeth, changed some clothes, and then I headed on my way, and it was like 30 minutes away. So I drove and I drove and I drove. And then it was in a private neighborhood. So like the GPS kept trying to take me to the private gate that like I couldn't get into. it was only for residents. So now I'm Googling front entrance of this neighborhood. How do I get there? Because on the directions on estatesales.net, it was like, you have to go in the front. There will be somebody to let you in, but like you cannot go through the back gate. So I'm like, okay, so now I'm on Google, how to get to front gate of said neighborhood. Eventually I find it. 30 minutes later, like, I kid you not, by the time I actually pulled up to this estate sale, it was like 12:10. Okay. I had already been on the road for 30 minutes to get there, and then it felt like I took another 30 minutes to actually get into the neighborhood. It was probably like 20 max, but it felt like forever. And I was just like looking at the time, and I was like, oh my god, like, wasted nearly an hour trying to get here. So I was like, let's commit. Eventually I found it, and I walk in, and it looks bare, like bare bones. And I was like, oh my gosh. And when you go like an hour before the end, everyone's there just picking up like their big furniture and stuff. And so they were basically like hauling everything out, and I was like, is there anything left? Like, did I just waste my entire middle of my afternoon? I started looking at rooms, and I was like, oh, this and this and this and this and this. And I found a lot of stuff. Found a bunch of those silver platters. They were like $5 to $8. I got them for half off. These are probably my favorite. Almost just broke that. But these little fake books, I was like, oh, that's so odd. Now I have a jewelry holder. Thank you very much. I'll probably lay them down, like stacked up on top of each other rather than like this. But like, how sick is that? The steamer, like a proper steamer, because I just got mine off of Amazon. It's cheap and it's like fine, but it leaks all the time. I got a proper one by Shark. That's nice. These, oh my god, look how skinny that is. It's such a sexy glass, my goodness. There was not much clothing left, which was expected, but I did get the leather jacket for $5. The shoes I got for like, I think $6 and $4 or something like that. Those were cute. The little doilies, I might dye them black. I haven't decided. I don't know if white is necessarily my jam. I feel like that gives off like a dainty vibe, and I feel like with my like aesthetic, it's more of a dark sensual vibe. But I still really like lace, and I love the delicacy of it to kind of like combat, you know, the leather and some of the edgier stuff that I have in my boots. So I might dye them black. Oh my gosh, black. Or like a nice maroon color. I think there's potential with that. The little glass bowls, again, some of them will go to markets with me to hold, like if I find a bunch of matches, like they could sit in the container. And then I also want to have something by like my front door on my little table thing, so I can just throw my keys in there, because I always lose my keys. But yeah, this was like such a cutie little estate sale. There's some more this weekend, and then on Monday that I want to try to go to, so I think this is just gonna be like a estate sale video. But yeah, like today was freaking crazy. I went literally an hour before close, and I found all this stuff. I think I paid $85 total, like after taxes and fees, which is freaking crazy. All right, that's all for today. I'll see you guys in a few days when I have my next estate sale. But wow. Hello, it is day 2. Well, it's not day 2, but it's the second estate sale of this video. It's actually an estate sale warehouse, and it usually happens like once a month. At the beginning of the month, I haven't been able to come because I've been busy, I guess, the last couple of times. But I'm not busy this weekend, and apparently they've got a lot of stuff in. So I'm very interested to see what's in here. They usually give me a deal because I usually buy a bunch of stuff. So I have done a video on this place a couple times, but any hoosers, let's get in there.
So like I said a second ago, this is an estate sale, a warehouse sale, and how these work, it's kind of like an estate sale, except not at all. That was not helpful. But this is ran by an estate sale company. They obviously do estate sales throughout the month, and then essentially whatever doesn't sell at the estate sale but they feel like still has value and someone might possibly want it, they collect it all, put it in this warehouse, and then they open the warehouse up to the public to come shop once a month. This one is at the beginning of every single month, so like the first weekend of the month, and everyone comes by and shops. And I'm honestly not sure how to properly find these. The first time I ever saw anything advertised about this, it popped up on my Instagram feed as something I might be interested in, which obviously the phones are listening because your girl was in fact interested. But I've also seen one in Atlanta that I found on TikTok through someone else. So you might be able to hold on. You guys, look how beautiful this coat is. It's vintage. It's like 60s, 70s era, but they keep putting stickers on it. Like, why couldn't they at least put it on the lining on the inside? They have just absolutely ruined the suede on this thing. There's one on the fur. Like, do you guys even care about clothing? Clearly, no. That it grinded my gears. It ground my gears. I don't know. But like I was saying, you can probably just Google to find one if you want to go to one. Look at these watches. They are perfect for my markets.
It's a good thing they took Tap to Pay because I absolutely forgot my debit card. My goodness. Ugh. But I ended up spending $70 total, which for 7 watches, 3 coats, a halter top, a sweater, and that sweater dress for $70. That's really good. They always cut me a deal. Because the jackets alone were supposed to be $15 a piece, unless otherwise noted. And that like long furry one, which was so freaking soft, like felt like chinchilla. I think it's faux fur though, but like it felt so soft like that. That alone was supposed to be $25. That other coat that was like long with the nice like plush collar, sorry, sick brain, they had that at 50 and it was stunning, beautiful, gorgeous. I honestly would have got it, especially because I know they cut me deals, but because they kept putting the sticker price on there, it was like really effing up the suede. It was like leaving a residue, and there was like a band right there, and I don't know anyone who's gonna pay for that. And suede is so finicky as it is to clean, much less get damage out, so like it just didn't feel worth it. But I'm really happy with all of my finds there. Let's run home and see if there's another estate sale to hit. Otherwise I might just go thrifting, because I have not really done a lot of thrifting recently, which is a problem since I have 3 really big markets coming up and I'm unprepared. So this might just be literally the craziest thing I've ever done, but it's like 10:30 p.m. and we're about to head to Birmingham for an estate sale. It starts tomorrow at 10 a.m., right? 12 hours from now. They're handing out numbers 10 hours from now at 8 a.m. But here's the thing, it's packed full. I'll put previews on the screen. Packed full of the most beautiful vintage goodness. And I have a vision for my markets, and honestly, just for me personally. But they have a bunch of like vintage knickknacks that I just like absolutely need. They have old Playboy magazines and Playboy cups. They have like cigarette holders, like ashtrays. They have old matchbooks. They have some like decor that's been on my dream wish list. It's like on my Pinterest board for my apartment. And since it's so packed full and it's like multiple buildings, but the like main house is tiny, like 800 square feet. I think that's like literally smaller than my apartment. They're only allowing 40 people in at a time. And I fear if I'm not within that first 40, I'm not gonna get what I want. And I just don't know if I can live with that. So we're gonna be spending the night in somebody's neighborhood. And they said they had security outside, so that makes me feel better, honestly, that if I pull up and I just like don't be weird, like if something were to happen in the, I keep thinking that's in my hair, it's like literally my dirty mirror, something were to happen, I could be saved, you know what I mean? But I'm no stranger to sleeping in my car. I literally just slept in my car before I went to New York. So this is nothing new to me. I've just never done it outside of someone's house because that feels like real mad creepy. But by the time I get there, it's gonna be like a little after midnight. So I feel like this should put me within the top 40. Am I crazy? Absolutely. Do I give a F? No, it's for the plot. It's for the plot. What else am I supposed to be doing on a Friday night? Going out to the bar? No, like I'm literally gearing up to get all the vintage I want. That's how you know you're getting old. Like, you're getting excited about more old stuff. You're getting excited about home decor. Anyway, I'm gonna change into whatever I'm gonna wear tomorrow, because this is like my in the house outfit. You know what I mean? I need to change into like an outside outfit. I don't like to mix the two. So I'm gonna change, I'm gonna pee, and then we're outies. This is crazy. One, two reusable bags, a couple boxes in case I get some glass things. I think we're ready. I just pulled up. It is a little after midnight, almost 1 o'clock. I'm number 5 in line. Holy hell. We did it.
We're only letting 40 people in the house at once, so I'll count off 40 as soon as...
Oh my god, so, but now we have to get this. Oh yeah, yeah, it looks like wrapped all back here.
What did I just see something funny? Look!
What the? Literally, what the did I just do? Oh my god. First of all, I've never been so stressed in my entire life. Okay. The area I thought a lot of my stuff was in was actually outside and not in the house. So I missed out on quite a few things that I went in there specifically for. Like these vintage, like, fashion magazines and Playboy magazines. They had these, like, vintage Playboy cups that I really wanted as well. Missed out on all of those. I did get some of the ashtrays. I did get some of the jewelry. I got the playing cards. They were a little bit more expensive than I wanted them to be. Honestly, a lot of stuff was more expensive than I wanted them to be. But considering those tank tops that were not advertised, like, literally at all, were only $8, I'm not complaining. Because I saw a couple of them on the rack, and then I said, okay. And I just grabbed them all. I stopped looking at what was what, and I just took them all. And then once I felt like I was done looking, I went and I sat in the field, and I took the hangers off and really started to look at what I got. And I think I got some gems. They're definitely, like, not safe for work. They're definitely a little vulgar, but I'm kind of living for it because I listen to a lot of rock music, and those kind of tees are gonna smack for concerts. And a lot of them are, like, already pre-cut to be a hot girl. Like, all I need now are micro shorts, a bunch of jewelry, my hair all, like, you know what I mean, and buns, my freaking boots. Like, I'm set for life for concerts. So very, very happy with all of those tank tops. Am I gonna sell any of them? You'll probably have to pry them out of my cold dead hands. So I do kind of hate that I bought 41 and I have no plans on selling any of them. I mean, maybe down the line, I don't know, but you know what, you should invest in yourself. You should invest in the things you love. And the fact that these are, like, all original owner and I have her entire collection is, like, crazy. She literally
kept everything from every decade. Like, I saw stuff from like the freaking 20s in there to the 90s. Did I see some Y2K stuff? Maybe. I think some of those t-shirts, I saw Twilight Tea, so that has to be like 2000s. So honestly, she had like almost a century worth of stuff in there. That was freaking insane. Sorry I didn't record a lot in there. I tried to go back after I was done, but then I saw my friend who used to sell vintage but doesn't anymore because family stuff. Chatted up with her, and then I just paid and I walked out. It's literally 12:20. I've been outside this house, or at this house, for 12 hours. I literally got here at what, almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's now 12:20 p.m. What a world. Okay, let's go.
31 north.
Surprise, we're thrifting in this video, even though it's a estate sale video. I know you guys saw that traffic. I was so irritated and falling asleep, so I decided to pull over and go thrifting instead. I really wanted this coat, but unfortunately it was missing the belt. And I hate that. That's probably one of my biggest pet peeves about thrifting, is when a trench or overcoat does not have its belt, because how dare you. But honestly, the coat section was kind of lacking. I did pull out the best of the best. These boots, my god, you know how much I love when like the fabric goes over the heel with the wedge, like knee high. Unfortunately not my size, but good for you guys. The skirt section, are you joking? An actual micro mini that wasn't fast fashion. I found this once and I put it in a wholesale order and it haunted me forever, and I found it again. That's on good karma, but I am selling it because it doesn't fit me. This is a little plus size crochet skirt. It's giving a little summer, but who cares? The corset was beautiful. These pants are size 0 and they're so perfect, both of them. Like the fact that these like have no waistband, oh my god, they're so low waisted. Like, you guys, ultimate hot girl pants, I'm sorry. Honestly, for an unexpected thrift trip, I feel like we did pretty good here. I haven't decided if I'm keeping these or not. I really like them, but they're a little higher waisted than I would like. These are some vintage Man USA BB pants, I guess micro mini dress. Iconic for the 2000s with those knee-high boots, imagine. And then these, like, are you kidding me? These tramp stamp, no boundaries, sweatpants. Imagine these with one of my new tank tops. Are you joking? Like, in my UGG boots? Look how good she is at content creating. She just absolutely forgot to record herself walking into this store. This house, my goodness. But it was another 50% off day because I was seeing on estatesales.net, they accidentally let some of their prices show in their photos and they were looking a little too steep for my liking. So I figured I would just go on the second day. I'm in the craft room. Why am I finding clothes in here? This is the first little clothing item that I found, and I was like, okay, period. And it made me excited to go to the actual closets, but they were bare. There was nothing there. So I think people really didn't explore the craft room here. But I figured since she had all these candles that I could get these to put in my little candle holder, which I have yet to find. But to hold all my necklaces at markets and things, I figured I could get these, melt them a little bit to give that like dark romance feel, and then put them in the candle holder with the necklaces hanging down. Like, that was my vision. I thought I broke that. I didn't, thank goodness, but that was really scary for me. And then I saw all these reusable bags and I was like, well, girl, you can always use some more reusable bags. I found all these Lulu ones. Who was gonna tell me y'all were selling Lululemon bags for $25? I went up to the front to check out and she was like, how many Lulu bags do you have? And she was like counting them up and I was like, are these not just like $1 a piece? They're, first of all, okay, look at all these cute tops that I also found in the craft room. I'm assuming she was like using them for like templates or something. These I thought could be good to have like my logo in them to set on the table, or like have my QR codes and stuff for markets so that people don't have to ask what my QR code is and I don't have to like waste battery on my phone. This could have been so perfect if I could get it open. I couldn't get that chest open. These are just like other little antique things that they had at the house. But anyway, they were charging $6 a Lululemon bag. Like, are we kidding me? This could have been good too, but it was disgusting. And I was like, okay, I don't need them that bad. And she's like, it's 50% off today, $3 a bag. I said, make it 2 and we got a deal. And so I got them for $2 a piece. But like, y'all are crazy. Reselling Lulu bags? Everything over there is expensive. Oh my god. But I'm a proud owner now. This is what I want, but taller. You know what I mean? For like my necklaces and things. I did get this. I think this is going to be good for like all my rings and stuff in my personal collection. These I'm going to put on the tables. This is going to go in my personal collection. I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet, but again, like good little pieces to put on my tables at markets. Now I'm at a completely different house, and I was not supposed to be here. This is not even an official like estate sale, but apparently this is an estate sale that happened literally 3 weeks ago. And one of the people who runs the sale was at the estate sale that I was at, and they were like, "Girl, we need you to come to the house. We have so much stuff left over. We're trying to clean up the house, and there's just so much. Like, can you please come over, see if you want anything? Like, we'll give you a good deal." Who am I to say no? So I went over there. Obviously, I'm in the house going through it, and this made me never, ever, ever want to run an estate sale company, because I was like, oh, that could be like a cool transition as I get older. Like, that could be a fun job while still being in a vintage space. And then, like, again, like a lot of these people who do estate sales, they also sell themselves, and they like will put it in their shop or whatever. And so I was like, okay, yeah, like that could be cool. But the fact that you have to deal with all this extraness, like you still have to clear out the house. So if people don't buy, like, look at all this mess. This happened 2 weeks ago, and they still had so much stuff. The house wasn't cleaned out. Oh, hell nah. But I really didn't get anything crazy at this sale. Like, this was probably the craziest thing I got other than my Smirnoff mirror. But I just found, like, a lot of, like, decent brands with quality material. 100% cotton, silk, etc. This is a Pendleton, 100% wool. Blazer, I don't even pick up blazers. This was suede. Like, I was just getting some good basics to fill up the market. Or, like, fill up my racks at markets, because she's going to give me a good price. I think she ended up giving me everything that I grabbed for literally $50, and I probably got close to 50 things. So she definitely cut me a deal, $1 a piece. That's like cheaper than it is at the bin. So I really see all this stuff, $50.
I apologize for how chaotic this video has been, but we are coming to an end, and I want to show you how my table looks. I literally brought my table down. I unloaded my car just to give myself a mock look and how the table came together after everything we've bought at these estate sales, because I have all these thoughts and pieces of thoughts, but like trying to imagine it all come together was impossible, and I just kept buying and buying and buying. A little stupid on my end, but a lot of times, like, I think for 2 of the sales that we went to, everything was 50% off. So like, why would I leave something pretty for $1? You know what I mean? That just feels crazy. But I do have it fully set up for the most part. There she is. I feel like that's a pretty decent start, especially considering I thrifted all of this stuff, or like found it at an estate sale within like the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Like, I feel like it looks pretty golden. I do need something like tall to hold my necklaces, I think, because I do have some necklaces, and I'm like, where the heck can I put them? So I think I need like a tall, and I would love to get like one of those tall candlestick holders, because I did get those candles at that one estate sale. So I feel like if I got the tall candlestick holders, I could pre-melt some of the candles at my house and then stop, like blow out the candle. So it like has like the fun kind of romantic like meltiness to it, again, to add some more texture to the table and things like that. And then I could just hang the necklaces off like the tall candlestick situation. I feel like that could be fun. This is not all my jewelry, this is not all my supplies. This is literally with just what I've gotten in this video alone. I have some more stuff upstairs in my storage unit, and I have some stuff at my apartment that I've yet to bring over. So let me run you through kind of like, I guess, what I have and where I got it, even though you guys already know. Just hang on for the ride, okay? All right, so this little silver platter I got at the first estate sale, along with both of these, the books. I don't know if they're gonna stay in my market rotation or not. Both of these, I like this stacked because it kind of separates the white plate from the tablecloth. I feel like it just needed something, because when I had it there by itself, it just wasn't doing it for me. But this is a lot more interesting to look at, and I think the watches stand out really, really well on top of this white piece. And this is honestly just so beautiful. And again, it's got some nice texture, obsessed. I got both of these, just the top one that's in a heart, at the first estate sale. What else? All of the jewelry I got at the one that I spent the night at, which I think is the third one. This I got at like the fourth one, I think. It's a little evening bag. And it's so cute. Oh my god. They had some more, but they were like charging hella crazy. This is just a paperweight. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it on the table, but I like how it looks. Some leather gloves. I would like to get some more brooches, but right now I just have like the one. I feel like this could hold my logo and maybe my QR codes. These were really clutch that I got at that same estate sale where it was like in the craft room finding all this stuff and like the candles and things like that. But apparently she used to be like a jewelry vendor, so she had a lot of good stuff. I wanted some of her jewelry pieces, not pieces, but holders and things, but they were not for sale, so I didn't even show them. But I got these little mirrors, which I think are good. I don't really know what other than like, I guess, earrings so you would be able to use these for, because even if you look down you could see earrings. I don't know, maybe rings could be fun to see if you like them on your finger, but I do feel like they add some dimension to the table. But imagine if I had one of those tall like candlestick situations right here, especially until I can get this filled. If I had like a tall candlestick holder that could hold all my like necklaces and things, I feel like that could really set it off. But right now, very, very pleased with just like 2 weeks of pulling this together. As far as this random lot of things, which are just hats that I never, ever, ever pick up, but she wanted help like cleaning out that estate sale and there was still so much left. So I did grab the hats. I have a lot of t-shirt bro friends. I figured they would maybe want these. They're from the 80s. They're in good condition. I mean, they need to be reshaped and things like that, but I feel like some dude would probably want them. I'm gonna try to put them on my story first though and see if I can sell them individually for like 10 bucks, let someone get a deal out of it. And then if not, I'll just wholesale them out. But that's what I'm doing with this. This is the rest of the stuff that I got at that last house with those hats. Obviously, there's a huge trash bag worth of stuff. I'm not gonna sit here and make you guys watch every single thing that I bought because it's nothing special. Honestly, I'm going to show you a couple pieces and you'll get the general idea of like the stuff that I got. See, it's boring. Like it's literally nothing special. It's just a vintage 100% cotton black turtleneck, new with tags. Okay, like that's a classic. Even if I just sell these pieces at $20, I'm up because I got all of this including the hats for $50. So like I was doing her a favor and she's doing me a favor. This is like better than going to the bins. It's all about those connections, baby. But yeah, this is again just 100% cotton. This is a black little cardigan. Nothing special, but it'll fill up my booth, especially next week with my huge market. Like I'm gonna need to have inventory on deck. This is probably like the craziest thing I got, and it's this little baby pink sweater. How cute that little detail is, and it's vintage 9 West. Again, dead stock. I have a little silk top right here. This is a silk blend, very basic little striped t-shirt, but it's silk. More sweaters. Like literally just sweaters on top of sweaters. We have this one. This is a silk blend. I love the two-tone on this. Brown basic silk. Again, dead stock, basic. It's so boring, but these are the pieces that people also need in their wardrobe, and a high quality basic is something like you can never go wrong with. Here we are again, dead stock. What's the material on this one? 100% cotton. Look how cozy this is. And you see the tags, like it's just stuff like that in here. And it just kind of goes on. So I need to get all this stuff washed so I can take it to my market next week. But I feel like those would be like really good fillers on my racks. And for 50 bucks, like I feel like it would have been stupid not to just go ahead and get it. So yeah, nothing too crazy at that one. Just quick money. All right, now for the fun part. I'm gonna kind of rapid fire go through all these shirts. I got 41 at that estate sale that I spent the night at. I'm still shook because they did not advertise a single one of these, which considering the content of some of these, they definitely couldn't advertise these because they are not appropriate, but I am gonna show you guys anyway. First up, this kilt. I love it. It's like heavy duty, straight from the source, I tell ya. I just think this is really cool, and I feel like an alt girl and all baddie will really like that. But onto the shirts. Alrighty friends, that is going to conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was chaotic. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I find all my estate sales on estatesales.net. This video specifically is not sponsored. I do partner with them on some short form stuff on Instagram and TikTok like once a quarter. This is not one of those videos, so they're not paying me to say this. I just genuinely do use estatesales.net, and I have been for the longest time. They are the best place to look for an estate sale in your area. They typically happen like every single week. If you live in a smaller area, you might have to make your radius bigger to find some better estate sales. So like you guys saw, I had to make mine bigger to see the one in Birmingham, which is like an hour and a half away from me, almost 2 hours. So I did make my radius bigger. I saw that estate sale, and that's how I end up with all these really sick t-shirts. So if you have to do that, do that. If you don't mind like a little drive, sometimes they really are worth it. But yeah, estatesales.net, they give you previews, tell you the days, times, address. They'll let you know what payments they accept. Most are cash card. Check. Occasionally you'll get one that is cash only. Occasionally you'll get one that doesn't, or that also will take like Venmo and stuff like that. So be sure to check out all of that. If you're not going to estate sales, clearly as you see, you're missing out. Whether you're a seller and you're looking for stuff to add to your booth, or you're just a regular plain Jane person who loves vintage, like there's really sick stuff out there like this. The thrift store is not the only place to find good deals and steals on vintage, okay? This is the GOAT. This is my hidden secret that I'm sharing with all of you because we're friends. But yeah, that's gonna end it. I hope you enjoyed it. I have to get ready for my market. So until next time, I'll see you guys next time. I love you guys so much. Until then, I hope you live a happy, beautiful, wonderful life. Subscribe. Okay, bye.